everybody. Things about to start in about a minute or so. Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm doing What If Deku had its spirit chest full. The reason why I did not upload this fast, it was because my sister kept calling me and annoying me. But she's nice. So I just stopped recording and all of that. Yeah. If you're wondering what type of spirit they are, it's Spirit Boscus and Spirit Chastaful. Spirit Chastaful full form, and I'm not sure about Spirit Boscus because I didn't watch a lot of Seven Deadly Sins. I wrote it Spirit had Spirit Spear because I couldn't fit the whole entire Spirit Chastaful. I'm not sure if this is a good one. It looks bad to me. Okay, now let's start. Chapter 1. 7-year-old Izuku sniffles as he walks through the forest after running away from Kachan's, better known as Katsuki Bakugo. He was lost. He was sure recess was over and hoped on the teacher would look for him. It was like this, but ever since he got diagnosed quirkless, everything changed in his superhuman society. 80% have what is known as a quirk, which is some sort of superpower that made other 20% are quirkless, having no such abilities and made them normal humans. The quirkless always looked down upon as a being as small and insignificant, weak, fragile. Izuku Midoriya is part of the 20%, but even so, he wished more than anything to be a hero. But because of that, he has been bullied because he has not given up on his dream. Izuku sighed as he continued walking before tripping over something. He braces himself and landing extremely soft and comfortable, even stayed on staring at a pillow. What is, he questioned loud before grabbing the green pillow at the moment and before information started flooding to him. Fairy King, Grizzly King of Sloth. Oh, sin of Sloth. Did I have a bad day? Chastaful, Spirit Chastaful, 7 Deadly Sins, War, Britannia, Confederations, Fairy King, Sacred Tree. Izuku was in that place for 7 hours, but it was only a mere 5 minutes. And the pillow floated up to his level. So this is Spirit Chastaful, the sacred treasure of the second fairy queen, Harley Quinn, better known as King. He said to no one in particular. This along with Spirit Boscus. Olas and Hawks were sent there as a reminder of their Earth that was destroyed due to a battle of all 5 demon, goddess, agent, and fairy and human races fighting. Because of this, they sent the strongest weapons and the dangerous animal, Talking Pig, who could provide guidance. As Deku kept talking, he turned absent and mindedly looked at the tripping over and paused when he saw Spirit Boscus. Everything happened again, the same as Spirit Chastaful, but with Gloxinia's powers. So this is Spirit Boscus. Or I'm just gonna say boss. Do I have a word like Fairy King Gloxina did? I don't want to move around with vines wrapped around my body. Can be bracelet or something. As he said that, the vine started to shrink, and Izuku watched in amazement as one of the overripe vines shrunk into a silver bracelet that was purple moon rose at the center and floated to latch onto his wrist. He stared at it in amazement before a wave of exhaustion crashed onto him, making him stumble and fall back onto the pillow. A little sleep wouldn't hurt. He thought before dozing off, unaware that his elementary school was in a panic. They're thinking that they lost their quirkless child. Even if they didn't stop the quirk discrimination, they are responsible for a child. And to lose school ground was against lawsuit. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all who the guys. I love this story. I really wanted to read it earlier, but I couldn't. So it's Official Ice Pillar. Spirit Spears. That's what the title is called. You should go and sub to him. The reason why you're wondering why I am not doing scripts like every YouTuber, well, because you see, last time I did a script, it was 7 minutes long when it was about 1 hour. It took me about 1 hour to make a 7-minute script. It was so long, like I'm not kidding. Even though if I read it slow, it was still long. I read it slow, no homo. Whenever I read it so slow, but it was still fast. It felt like 7 minutes. For me, it felt so long. That's what I mean. So I stopped doing scripts and I wanted to do a site so I don't have to do scripts. And then I remembered there's something known as Wattpad. I didn't know what it was called, so I asked some other YouTubers. A guy who does What If Luffy stuff. I asked him where he gets it, and he told me on Wattpad. Like that. So, yeah. I don't like doing scripts. Unless I have a friend who helps me with scripts. He does help me sometimes. If I want to, we do 50% and 60. Or, never mind. 50 and 40. Or 50-50. Izuku woke up to loud beeping sound. He opened his eyes but quickly shut them from the brightness. He slowly blinked them open and sat up. He looked around and realized he was in a hospital bed. And there was loud keeping was from the machine that read his heartbeat that connected to the wires in his hand. Wait, hospital? His thoughts were cut short when a nurse walked in while looking down at her clipboard. "Good morning," he whispered. Okay, let me drink some water. Oh, and that's a notification where I got the site where it stops threat like that on your laptop. There's been about 180 threats stopped on my laptop. It said threat secured, threat blocked because it's infected with. Okay, let me do something real quick. I need to scan my PC real quick. Okay, scanning browser threats is 57. Okay. Let's see, what is happening? I don't know what's happening. Okay, threat secured, because I'm not going to be keeping hearing P. You mother. Wait, hospital? His thoughts were shortcut when the nurse walked in and down at her clipboard. "Good morning," he whispered. The nurse flinched slightly. Hearing the small voice, she looked up and smiled at the green bean before greeting him as well. "Good morning. How are you doing today, Midoriya-san?" she asked in the soft voice possible. "I'm doing fine, just a bit thirsty." I turned off my computer and let me turn it back on. I found this good anime, but it's kind of has some bad stuff. But I don't know even why I'm watching it. It's this anime. Let me show you. It's watching it on Wattpad. You have to have an iPhone or so you can watch this anime. If you want to know the title, it's right here. So, yeah. And I really don't like that. And I like that anime. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's kind of funny. Let's just plug in my phone to a charger. Yo, if they actually did this in Dragon Ball, imagine how good that'll be. Dragon Ball Super 2, Army King. It's gonna make Goku stronger and Vegeta, I know that for sure. This is where I get all of them. I might do a mob Deku. This is about almost 4 stuff. So yeah. The reason why I got close to my things because my phone is about to die. So 10%. Let me go back to where I was. I'm just a bit thirsty. She nodded before leaving the room and coming back with a glass of cold water. Or cool. Cool water, his mother and a doctor. When his mother saw him, she immediately rushed to him and wrapped him in a bear hug and asked over and over again if he was hurt, which caused Ezekiel to giggle. I'm fine, Mom. Really, he smiled brightly at her. Inko sighed in relief. Her own son was fine. The doctor cleared his throat, efficiently capturing the attention of the duo. Sorry for breaking up the reunion. We have come to a conclusion that what caused Midori's son 1 week coma due to his development of quirk. Izuku's eyes widened in belief before a sudden look of recognition crossed his face. He looked right at the wrist and saw a silver moon rose break it. So it wasn't a dream. He smiled fondly, bracelet before his eyes widened. The pillow. He fractured looked around the room before sighing in relief when he saw it resting on a chair leaning against the wall. We tried to carry it to the lab to test it, see what it's made of, but every time we took it to this room, it turned into a boy with 4 arms, walked back into the room, when turned back to a pillow. The doctor explained his astonishment showing in his voice. Zuko smiled after reaching his hand out of the pillow. Everyone watched in surprise when the pillow started to levitate and floated over him. They were even more surprised when it shrunk to fit in Izuku's arm perfectly while the boy just snuggled his head into the warmth of the pillow provided. So not only shape-shifting, but its size shifting as well. Amazing, the doctor exclaimed, riding his board. He looked over the boy who seemed moments falling asleep and decided to ask questions out of the way before he did. Who knew when he would wake up Midoriya-kun? Would you mind telling us what happened before you discovered your quirk? Zuko looked at the doctor before fiercing his eyebrow in consternation. I can't really tell what happened. After collecting thoughts, he decided an unbelievable story. Well, I was exploring the first when I tripped and fell on a pillow. After a long vine and then turned into his bracelet. He showed them his wrist. So your quirk appeared on a reflex for being in danger, the doctor murmured as he wrote on the clipboard. While doing, the nurse started to check his vital to see how well it is, and as a week in coma, he seemed quiet. Yo, let me show you something. I play Roblox, but if you want to play with me, you can. Oh, that's just a quote that I always do, some quotes every morning to make my day be good. We'll be happy. Well, he seems quiet, alright, Miss Midoriya. It seemed that the sudden release of his quirk took a huge toll on his body. He can release once the quirk tests are completed. Inko nodded and to thank the nurse who nodded and wished them all good day before leaving. After 2 hours of testing, Izuku was in the doctor's office along with his mother, who waited for the doctor to return. With the test materials. A few minutes later went by and the doctor returned. Well, Mr. Midori, your son have a very incorrect quirk. What kind of it? It takes shape of a pillow, which is great for defense, especially against fire attacks. Because of high concentration, but it's water against ice, which could easily break it. Apart from the bear, we aren't sure what else can it turn into. Then the quirk, levitation ability, I would purposely say a mutation quirk, allowing him to levitate objects around them. Izuku's mother stared in astonishment. Her son had two works. Their wristband seems to be made from a known material as a pillow, so we like to assume that it's split of the pillow. It can't be combined into one. That can be combined into one. Inko nodded at the doctor and then looking at her son, who looked more tired than usual. She sent a worried glance at the doctor, who was able to pick up her question and started to say, a downside to the form of a cork is because it takes a natural form of a pillow. He always gonna look sleepy and feel sleepy. Inko nodded in understanding. One more thing. Weren't sure why there's a tattoo of a sloth on his leg. On his lower left leg. I think it symbolizes the fact that his quirk makes him sleep a lot, just like the actual sloth. Inko stared at her, shocked. Her baby had a tattoo. Thank you, doctor. We'll be leaving, Inko said, picking up her son, who immediately already fell asleep. Anytime. Please come back if there's any more questions. The doctor smiled. Inko nodded in acknowledgement before leaving the office. After a long journey home, Inko placed Izuku on his bed with his pillow, which he immediately snug into. She smiled, then went downstairs to prepare lunch. She's trying to wrap her head around the fact that her baby had two quirks and a tattoo. She shook her head before entering the kitchen. She was not prepared, however, to see a pig and a dog-looking creature eating from the fridge. They both looked at her, and a minute staring, competing before the pig decided to ask. Yep, you heard me speak. Hi, woof. Inko, the most reasonable thing one of her situation would do, she screamed. Even my mom would scream if she saw that. I'm in chapter 3. I'm telling you though, if you ever see those are scams completely. I'm not kidding. Because I clicked on one of them and these are just pumming through scams. The thing that I wanted to tell you is that it's 1:25 already? What? I should be going to sleep at 3. Because I sleep at 4. Okay, now let's start. Izuku woke up from a loud commotion outside his room. He's going outside his room. I wonder what's mom's doing. He hurried at sleepy. Get out of my house, you overgrown pig. Pig, he thought. Pig. Oh my gosh, Hawk said loud. Izuku jumped out of his bed and ran out of his room. He sees mom running after a large pink pig and a green-blue dog with a broom. Just like the memories, Izuku thought excitedly. Hawk turned to Izuku and rushed to him. Choose one to call off your mom. With that, Izuku made everyone in the room flow, himself included. Inko started to freak out even more, eventually passed out. Izuku blinked once and twice before deciding to place her on the couch. Whoa, your mom is really something, Hawk said, relieved that the lady was not chasing him. Okay, I'm gonna do something. I just need to save this. You saw nothing. I should probably just remove that from the video. But nah. Because I'm just going to have to rewatch the video and find where I stopped. And then I have to edit. That's how you have to edit videos. You have to rewatch the video. Then you have to pick the bad parts that you don't like and edit them. Damn, I'm not doing that. I'm too lazy. Well, can't you hear you? A talking pig is encouraged. Looking dog just randomly pops up in your house. Your reaction was justiceable. Izuku countered, I guess. Woof. Izuku looked at the black hound who was staring at him. He smiled and began petting the small animal before realizing, oh, hey, Hawks, why aren't you at the forest where I found Chasteful and Basquis. Or Spirit Spirit Basquis. Spirit Spirit Basquis. I can't say that. We were. After we found them and got them taken back to the place, we immediately transported here. Yo, I think I might do this with it. Look at this. The rise of Atlantis. Like, I seriously have a lot of what ifs in my table that I need to show you. I'm gonna be using a picture thing so that I do not send my information and all of that. So yeah. So y'all won't be able to see anything. Ha ha ha. Like that. Because my mom loves using pictures. Because my camera is so good. Not trying to flex. We were okay. Oh, okay. Zuko nodded in understanding. Inko started shifting and indicating that she would be awake soon. Alright, there's a plan. You two hide and I'll explain everything to her. Hawks nodded in understanding as he and Oslo walked into the kitchen. Inko sat up for a few seconds and held her head in pain. Are you alright, Mom? Inko looked up with a sea of worried her inspection on her son. Yeah, I just had the weirdest dream ever. There was a talking pig and a dog. She asked more than said. Then said, yeah, about that, Mom. It wasn't a dream. You did see a talking pig and a blue-green dog in a black hound. Inko started blinking at her son before her eyes slowly widened. I didn't tell him the color of the dog, and I would explain more about my quirk. Wild powers. Inko stared at her son in confusion and curiosity. Before nodded and urging him to continue, it was getting upset. It was no use getting upset, And with a deep sigh, Zuko began to tell what happened at first and 1 hour later. So this pig is to provide guidance, and the hound is like security guard. Inko questioned, now staring at mentioned creature who came out of halfway through the story. Zuko nodded while holding a pillow. Inko nodded in understanding before turning to the creature and smiling and apologizing. I apologize for my earlier behavior. I guess I was just paranoid. It's fine. Parent instincts, I'm Hawk. I'm captain of the Order of Scrap Disposal. Disposal at your service. Hawk saluted with his right ear and puff of his air coming out of his nose. Inko squealed at the adorableness and quickly gathered him up her arms and introduced herself. Yeah, I'm not going over. I'm gonna make this a 30. Until my thing ends. Izuku sighed in relief before smiling. He glad that he was such an understanding mother. It was supposed to be sad. He glad that she was such an understanding mother. So you can control your chasteful, Inko said. Oh yeah, test it out, Izuku stated, I don't know. Why don't you give it a shot? Better now than Hawk interjected. Izuku nodded and closed his eyes. He ran through his memories before he quit and tried to recreate every movement King did. He unconsciously started to levitate and brought his at a gun position without a thumb. A faint golden light surrounded him, and he opened his eyes to stare directly at the float pillow in front of him. So if you're wondering what Basquis, here it is. This is Basquis. It's in full power, so it's golden, it's full power. And this, not Basquis, this is Chasteful. And this is Basquis. Cause I just keep on getting confused. This is Chasteful's full power. Okay, I'm confused. I already watched 7 Deadly Sins, but I'm just confused. He opened his eyes and stared directly at the floating pillow in front of him. Spirit. Okay, you better not try me again. You are pissing me off. You have been doing this to me the whole entire night. Spirit Chasteful. First configuration, Chasteful. The pillow was surrounded in a bright golden light, and the two humans watched in amazement. The spirit changed the shape In a place of pillow was a long board spear. I didn't want to put a spear because it took me a lot. I should have I didn't want to put it in the corner like right here. I'm too lazy. And I didn't want to put baskets like right here. I had to put the brightness up of the thing. Wow, Inko and Izuku said as they started in amazement. Izuku started levitating it into his hand and felt a long, cool surface. Amazing, he explained, just now trying to use the Basquis. Izuku nodded and concentrated again. Spirit Basquis. First configuration, Basquis. The bracelet levitated off his hand, and a golden glow started to glow gold before turning into a beautiful golden spear with a crest-shaped head and a triangular shape. This is his, but it's golden. Just imagine if it's golden. Sugo, Inko explained. You're doing well. And gasping the power so easily, Hawks commented. Oh, really? Izuku-san felt a wave of tiredness was over him, and the two peers turned to the original forms. The pillow floated behind him, and he instantly relaxed against it. What happened? Is something wrong with my baby? Nah, he's fine. He just tired since the spear used a ton of magic power, which isn't a lot in this world. Give him some food and a bit of rest. He should be fine, Hawks explained. Inko nodded and rushed to the kitchen and started to make lunch. Oh yeah, Izuku, said a boy, looked at the talking pig. Also spat brown punch on the ground. Merlin said, give this to the chosen one. Not sure why is it though? Izuku floated down and picked it up. He looked over before opening, and when it started twisting, hands grew into a door. While Merlin was never a straightforward person. Izuku opened the door, and there looked to be a laboratory. No way this is Merlin's entire lab. It even have her finished and unfinished works on all her spell books. Hawks ran towards her, explaining. Izuku walked over to the corner and saw weapons in a glass, very familiar weapons. Hawk, isn't that the demon sword lost Ovane? Hawks ran over, surprised to see all the Sin's sacred treasure, except King's, obviously. What? But how? I'm sure we left all of them. Hawk exclaimed in confusion. Suddenly Merlin's sacred treasure, Morning Star, started to glow before an image of Merlin appeared. Merlin? Hawk eyes watered to seeing his supposedly dead friend. Before anyone says anything, this is just recording that I'll be infused with my magic power. By my time I read this, I'll be long dead. Hawk visibly deflated at her words, and Izuku floated at him and sympathetic. Okay, I'm here to tell you this. I know that Merlin cannot die. She can die, but she cannot. How does that make sense? Because she could just put her consciousness in the thing, like she did again. Because she died, her body, and if she died again, she can just put her soul in it. So that means she wanted to pass on, or something like that. Let's just say that. Because she has lived more than 1,000 years with Meliodas. And she even tried to hit on Meliodas, but he just swang and said no. As you can see, this is a lab used in Britannia. I've decided that to give the chosen one all my research, includes all my magic spells and experiments from all five clans. You Sins always have magic spells, and us Sins also have decided to give the chosen one our sacred gear. It will be lost for them to be destroyed. Did you know about this, Hawk? Izuku questioned, looking for the projection. No, I didn't. Izuku hummed in response and continued listening to the hologram. Now, if you hadn't realized, shut up! Seriously, if you hadn't realized you had a tattoo similar to your king's, the reason is because once you use your weapon, you can bear the sins of previous owner. So, for example, You were to so advanceful. For to use my secret treasure, you get a tattoo on and so forth. Izuku nodded and understand me. I'll probably use it to help me understand what these books. That's all there is to explain. I can't really tell you about the Spirit boss quiz since I myself don't know much, but there's a guy to teach sacred treasure, including kings. One last thing. The projection raised his hand and muttered words Izuku couldn't comprehend as he faintly glowed. I just gave you the ability to understand all language that existed in my world. So that reading my books will be easier. Izuku's eyes widened and he ran up to the bookshelf with Hawk beside him and grabbed a random book. Sugo! He explained as he began scrolling through it. Hawk. Get this caught both their attention and they went back in front of the projection. Hawk, I'm sorry that we had to leave you, but we needed someone to guide the chosen one, and you're best person fit for that. We know you'll do more, so we'll all continue on you and Oslo for protection. We don't know what their world is like to stay with them at all times. The pouch can be used as a backpack, so you can travel with it. Stay safe, please, boy. This is your final goodbye. We know you won't let us down. I'll do my best, Hawk explained with the tears running down his face. I'll do my best in my world. There's what we call heroes, and I'm going to be the number one hero, Izuku explained with a very determined face and grunting his fist. The hologram smiled before disappearing as Aladdin went back to his place with the others. Hey, Hawk. The aforementioned looked at the boy who stopped to the same height as him. Let's do our best. Izuku smiled a million-watt smile holding our fist. Hawk wiped his tears before placing a hoofed fist and returning the smile. Yeah, can you tell me more about the heroes? Oh, my back. Oh. Don't y'all just love breaking bones? I mean, not breaking bones. Like this. Okay. Of course, they're my favorites. All especially All Might. Boys, lunch is ready. Food. Okay, I'm probably gonna do 1 hour. They ran into the kitchen and began tell Hawks all about heroes. It was late in the evening. The family of now were watching TV even until the phone rang. Good evening, this is Midoriya and Sazenko speaking. Ah yes, this is Mr. Shut up! That thing keeps on pissing me off. Ah yes, this is Dr. Drain. I was just calling to say in your excitement, we forgot to give your son a quirk name. We're hoping you can come back and excited to write it down officially. Yes, of course. I was going to make an appointment tomorrow. We found a more interesting attributes of his quirk. Oh, really? Well, does 10 a.m. sound good? That's perfect. See you then. Right. Have a wonderful evening, Miss Midoriya. After a short exchange, Inko walked back to his couch where his son sat. Who was this? Who was that, Mom? It's not a doctor from today. We forgot the name, your quirk, so we're now going back next Saturday. And we just tell them a little bit of more about your quirk so they won't be suspicious. If I get about 1K, I'll do a face reveal. I will seriously do a face reveal. I'm not kidding. So, yeah. It does not matter if it takes me a lot of years. I'm okay with taking me about 1 year to get to 1K or 10. Because I know my hard work paid off. And you should not give up on your dreams because life may just end for you in just one whole entire day. Let me give an example. Let's just say I was walking home alone, then a robber was going to rob me, but then he planned on killing me. and I was mean to my parents and everything like that. You will feel regret that you just wanted to go back and say sorry. And they will just feel bad because they didn't get to say sorry too. So that's what happened, and they'll live in a life with regret, a lot of it. So always be passionate of your dream and do not ever give up. You don't know when you might die, the next day or anything before. Always be happy with your friends. Always play with them. And that is my quote. So bye. Izuku nodded before going in a deep thought. He visible brightened before looking at his mother. I'm going to name it Spirit Spear since that's what they called. Oh, it's Spirit Spear. I really did it. Since that's what they're called. All right, sweetie. Sweetheart, it's time to get ready for bed. It's school tomorrow. All right, he said while running to the bathroom. After a long bath, he changed into his All Might pajamas and hopping into his bed with Hawks beside him and Olaf on the end of the bed. I just wish I could just hug a little Naruto, a little Luffy, a little Deku. Oof. Just imagine those cute faces just snuggling up together in one bed. Hey, I'm not a pedo. Just have to tell you that. I ain't like Hisoka on that Black Air Force shit. Shut up! Inko nodded and said they were all asleep. She smiled and tucked her soon in before kissing him on the forehead and turned to leave. I just wanna squeeze him to death. It's like Pikachu. I just wanna squeeze Pikachu to death because Ash just keeps on holding him like this. I just wanna squeeze a Pikachu, a real life Pikachu, and I wanna get shocked or any Pokemon. That's what I wanna do. Oh yeah, I had a weird friend completely. He was into those animal animation stuff. I don't know. He said he liked those type of people, animals. Oh well. I don't know what that means, but oh well. Mom, can I be a hero? She turned to see her son barely able to keep his eyes open while staring at her. She smiled. Of course, sweetheart. And you and Mommy will be every step of the way with you. Izuku beamed at her before turning over with a smile on his face. Night, Mommy. Good night, sweetheart. Inko closed the door and smiled and went to bed. Oh, yeah, and the door turned into a bag, and he closed it. So, yeah, toodles. Have y'all just ever been bored and not even want to do anything? Those who give up on their dreams are known as weak. If you're wondering why. Because if you have a goal that you're supposed to set through, do not just give up on it. Try until you, even if you break your bones, anything like that. Just hope one day, or even trying to make a recovery to go back. You do not have to listen to what other people says, because they're just full of jealousy. There's one person who had that song. If you go and look at, it was in Harry Fox intro, yeah. Those types of songs and intros like teach you a thing in life or two. And don't you dare spam in the comments about I'm talking about some older stuff. Like I know life. Hey, I don't know anything. Okay? Ugh. It is Monday morning. We see Inko and Izuku walking down the street in his elementary school. Izuku was walking with his pillow and a brown leather bag, the symbol that represented holy lights of Leonis. Hawks had been telling him non-stop about Britannia, and Izuku was glad that he had memories so understand. Hawk was very easy. He told his mom to the door about the door and that he was gonna learn magic, which she agreed to. Hawk stayed in the bag to be with Izuku while Ola stayed at the apartment, watch over Inko as per Izuku requested. Bye, mommy. I love you. Izuku hugged his mom, before running to not be late. Okay, I just wish I could just have these favorite memories with moms. Don't you just have that feeling where everything was good, where you just spend time with your family, like on this when there was a winter, I was able to spend more time with my family. We all sat down by the fire, telling each other stories and all of that. It was happy, and we were sad because some other people who just died and all of that. So we prayed for them. Oh, Ninko watched her son run in the small and turned to head back home. And you should not make fun of other people's difference. So yeah. When she reached it, opened her door, she was surprised to see a black cat assumingly waiting for her. She started petting the dog before realizing she had nothing to feed him. So with that, she went to the supermarket and bought 200 LBS chickens, which got weird stares, which she didn't mind. She certainly used her quirk to help her lighten her load. When she was passing an alley, where she suddenly grabbed by her arm and dragged into her alleyway. Before she could even squeal, a callous hand was roughly placed on her mouth, dropping a knife and was placed at her throat. Drop your bags. Empty your pockets, a roughly voice demanded. Inko nodded slightly and dropped her bags. In a few, hurry up, woman. The man shouted impatiently. Inko flinched, which caused the bag to drop immediately. The trembling hand she had reached into her pocket and started taking out her purse. The man grabbed it and placed her in the side of chokehold to check through it. Behind them, a purple portal opened up and a low growl was heard, then causing the man to drop his weapon and loosen his hold in fear. Both adults turned and were shocked to see a big blue green dog with red eyes glaring at the male. The man started to hyperventilate and didn't take long for him to pass out. Inko stared at the man blankly before turning back to a now small dog. Thank you, Oslo. Inko smiled gently before scratching behind the dog's ears. Okay, I really did not want Inko to die. She's a caring mother. That would be so sad, and I would have been crying. Oh well. The reason I am just shocked. The reason for myself, because every time I get mad so easily, right? But then I just forget about it completely. I just feel like I don't hold grudges. I don't hold any grudges. Unless you kill my family like Itachi. You will see me like Sasuke. I'll be like, hey, you dope. You want to fight me? Dope. And I'm sorry for people who experience that. So, yeah. And I'm sorry if this is offensive to you and other people. So, sorry. I'm extremely sorry. Inko has been staring at his classroom door for the last 3 minutes. The last time he had been in there, kids were all mean to him. Would caution still be the same? Izuku has been staring at the classroom door. Izuku sighed. If he stayed any longer, he would be late. Before he pushed the door... Shut up! That thing is annoying. Like, completely. Izuku sighed. If he stayed any longer, he would be late. He pushed the door open and slowly walked in the room. All eyes were on him. A few snickers was heard as Izuku was about to greet the teacher. Then the teacher rudely interrupted him. This isn't your house, Midoriya. Please give me that pillow. You'll get it back when school is over. Said, try to give the pillow. Out the boy's hands, but was met with the icy glare which stopped him in his track. The pillow is a part of my quirk, and I would very much appreciate if you wouldn't touch it without permission. Izuku's voice was dripping, was a demon. The teacher awkwardly cleared their voice and motioned him to take his seat. Izuku turned and began to seat. When the children finally registered, the boys said, the nerd finally got a quirk, huh? But it's not the same as mine. You know who explained the quirk is pillow? I wonder what it can do. It looks so soft. I know he'll let us hold it. I hope. Shadow filled the classroom as everyone was curious as what the 8-year-old quirk can do. Now everyone settled down. I'm sure Marty wouldn't mind explaining quirk. Rybor's head looked at the teacher with bored-filled eyes. He sighed before standing up and making the pillow float with your class in awe. I can levitate anything around me. I can change the shape of it, get it smaller or larger. He demonstrated by making the pillow really big, then really small. The doctor said its material is unknown, but it's very moist. They're unsure what else he can do. Izuku sat down, and everyone just stared at him in awe and envy. The once quirkless boy was all teased, had a more powerful quirk than the rest of them. Heck, even the teacher staring in awe. So we're going to put the villain to sleep. They're so weak. My quirk is still better. Bakugo scoffed, earning a few snickers. Actually, Zuko stared pointedly at couch, and the doctor said it would make a great defense and mature is stronger than steel. It would be able to block different attacks. Bakugo sneered before scoffing and looking out the window. The tension was thick as Izuku sat down with his chest full on his desk. The teacher cleared his throat and started a lesson. Now it's lunchtime. Izuku was floating on his pillow under the shade of one of the trees. He was reading one of Merlin's, now his spell book. Even when he was planning to try, through lunchtime, different kids tried to touch his pillow, but he floated it out of their reach. They started to beg him to let them touch it, but either declined or flat out ignored them, which didn't go well for small-minded children. The teacher started acting nicely to him and even stopped the children from saying anything insults or trying to harm him, which made him roll his eyes. They're all a bunch of fakes. He's still technically quirkless, but they didn't have to know that. The bell rang, signifying the end of lunch. Izuku floated down and started walking with the pillow and floated behind him as he did not stop reading. A boy a grade above him held out his foot in the way of tripping, but Izuku floated over the boy's foot and entered the classroom. To say Izuku was happy about bell ring would be understatement. He was the first one out, and he was by himself. He took Hawk out of his sleeping bag. They both walked to the busy tree of Moose Futa, but Izuku didn't really much mind. Okay, this guy just really loves trying us. Who the fuck does this? Completely, I am pissed. Okay, right now I'm getting a lot of stuff. Never mind. Okay, let me see how long this is. Oh well, it's been out of 50. So yeah. I'm wondering if I should do what if Naruto is the grandson of Izumi Uchiha, so he lives with the Uchiha everyone except Sichui, and Itachi and Satsuki look at him like a weapon, so he gets trained by Sichui to become an amazing prodigy. But everyone looks at him as a weapon, and the age of them is female Sasuke, Satsuki, but he hides it under Genjutsu. The clan massacre, not everyone knows. I don't own Naruto any shit before him. Naruhina. Darkness. I don't know which one I should do. Maruhia? Who the fuck is Maruhia? I am not. Okay, guys. I'm gonna look for any more stuff that y'all can like. 7 minutes in heaven, Naruto Akatsuki. Oh, I can't find anything else. So yeah, I'm gonna rant on for about 10 minutes. Nah, I don't feel like it. But let me look for a what if. Wait, I'm gonna show y'all something. Oh yeah, I forgot. Never mind. I don't know. I already have some. I'm just gonna do another what if today or tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I'm probably gonna do it today. Already did another what if. Now this is what if Deku had the had the spirit spear chest full, and Bosquist. Couldn't just said the 7 deadly sins. 7 deadly sins. What if Deku had the 7 deadly sins stuff, but that will make it too long. Oh well. So make sure you like and subscribe, and your boy Dark Card is out.